What is up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to TBM. If you are new to this channel, awesome. This is a great time to meet me. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, because right now I get to see a lot of the analytics behind YouTube, and there are a lot of you guys that are not currently subscribed. And that's something where these picks are completely free. Appreciate if you guys all smash that like button as well, and be sure to subscribe for daily sports betting analysis. Okay, so that's kind of what we got going on. We have a matchup, prime time. We have the Saints hosting the Denver Broncos. Saints are receiving 3 points at home, minus 115, best number out there, with a total coming in at 37.5. We're going to break down both sides, give you guys some props that I do like, some analysis within these props. We're going to talk about the defenses a little bit, and as well as these two rookie quarterbacks we have squaring off. Also, a couple of value plays in the touchdown market I'm going to get into. All right, so that's kind of what we have going on, just briefly as well. If you haven't done so, make sure you guys all like, comment, and subscribe, like I told you. And one thing is, we're trying to build up this X page. So if you haven't done so, please go into the link down below. You can find my link to my Twitter page, X, whatever you want to call it. And please give me a follow over there, where I do want to start posting things more so on this platform as well. And for those of you that do get involved within channel memberships, thank you. I appreciate you guys. To all my channel members out there, it really does help with the support. And I do truly appreciate all of that. Okay, that's kind of what we have going on, and we will see you over in the Discord a little bit later, completely free as well, where we're going to be diving into the game. Tonight, full disclosure, I am going to be going to the Cleveland Guardians game, Indians. If you're not politically correct, that's where I'll be tonight, so hopefully do some live content live from the stadium. Apologize for getting this video out a little bit later in the day. I wanted to wait for some injury news and see kind of what's going on, because a lot of players are kind of coming back into the fold. They're not playing, so we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Okay, and to do this, we are going to use Outlier. This is the #1 platform that I use to break down games and give you guys the best picks possible. All right, I don't make a bet without it. It gives me the best number, as well as a huge edge when I'm making my prop picks and everything like that. So check it out for yourself. Links down below. If you use my link, you do get a 7-day free trial to Outlier. All right, so that's what we have going on. We talked a little bit about the markets, right? New Orleans plus 130 on the money line, minus 142 for Denver if you do like the road favorite. And we do get a primetime matchup. So full disclosure, if you guys follow me, you know I have a propensity to take unders in primetime spots. And tonight is no different. All right, so we have a 37.5 out there in the market. I think this is the play in terms of the total. It's going to be my best bet for this game. Sometimes you just blindly bet primetime unders, and it ends up coming through. And tonight we get two rookie quarterbacks, albeit Bo Nix has a little bit more going for him and more starts under his belt. But Spencer Rattler in start two. I like these defenses here. We look at kind of what's happening in terms of the defenses, and you look at kind of the absence of a lot of offensive skill players. This is where I think that there is an advantage and an edge to taking the under. Okay, a lot of people do like the over, but you can see that the sharper side is definitely a little bit more of the money towards the under. And that's kind of where I'm going to be at, right? It's something where this could be an ugly game. We could lose this bet if it gets to 20-17. But I fully expect this to be a lot of turnovers, a lot of punting, and with the absence of a lot of key skill players as well. You talk about the receivers for New Orleans with a rookie quarterback. It just really lends towards the argument that Denver kind of gets this one done, and we do see an under flash on the scoreboard. Another thing to talk about within the point spread is the fact that these are rookie quarterbacks, and we do get a lot of stock down with Bo Nix. Okay, it's something where they just run a really slow pace. In my personal opinion, he's not going to be kind of crazy in terms of props. I think he's going to go under his passing yards, and that's something where a lot of people think that he's going to have to throw the football, but I just truly think that this is something where they don't get a lot of conversions. We'll talk about some of the receivers here in a minute, and I do think this is a game that lends towards a lot of punts. Okay, very vanilla style game as well, especially on a short week with rookie quarterback going to Spencer Rattler. I just really don't know how prepared the Saints are going to be, albeit it's really hard to bet against the Saints at home. All right, so let's talk about that a little bit more. But like I said, guys, I will be on the under 37.5. That is one of my better bets for this game. Okay, next thing we're going to get into is some of the props out there. I will be staying away from the side, although I do lean towards taking Denver. I'm not opposed to actually taking a little money line action, minus 142. But if I did have to bet this game, I would pay for some juice and get Denver minus 2.5. Although we are seeing this number kind of drop towards this number drop a little bit, and we are seeing more of the money coming in on Denver. Now that spread is 79% of the money, albeit 59% of the bets. And this is something where both of the totals and the number has flipped in terms of the side. Did open at +4, and now we're seeing Denver's -2.5 in the market. So taking a lot of money as expected, especially with all the injury news and rookie quarterback making a short week start for the Saints. That's just kind of where I'm at. So let's look into some of these injuries real quick, and then I'll give you guys my props to kind of get you on your way. And this is where we have the likes of Patrick Surtain is going to be out for Denver. Rashid Shaheed is going to be out for the Saints. We do get Taysom Hill doubtful, okay? And this is where I do have a little prop play within Taysom Hill. I do like him in the touchdown market, right? We do love Alvin Kamara anytime touchdown scores, most notably pretty much week in, week out. That's a good bet to make. However, I do think with the volume that he's going to have and the workload that is going to follow, I just think that the value is not there because of the low scoring output we're projecting, and the fact that if Taysom Hill does play, I do like him for a value anytime touchdown scorer that is Taysom Hill. But if he is doubtful and he does not suit up, then obviously we're not going to bet that, and that bet would be void. So that's where I lie with that. Also, Chris Olave is going to be out still with that concussion, and of course Derek Carr not being able to suit up. We do get Spencer Rattler. So that's kind of the big injury news. Another value touchdown play I do like is we do get, the Saints backup running back will be making his season debut tonight. So that workload will be kind of taken away from Alvin Kamara a little bit as well. So that's something that I kind of look into. I actually personally think that helps Alvin Kamara. A lot of times when you do have a second running back into the workload there in that volume, it's going to take away from touchdown opportunities. However, I do think that with the volume that Kamara has been having, I don't really look for it to be a vulture opportunity just because of the fact that he's going to be fresher around the goal line, so they'll probably look to keep him in those spots if he does get a helping hand, if you will, out of that backfield. So I do see some value in that. I just quite frankly don't think there's going to be a lot of points, so I'm not going to get into the likes of a lot of touchdown plays in the prop market. I'm going to be probably more shaded towards the under in terms of yards. I think the numbers have been adjusted pretty well. I just don't really know what we're going to get out of both these quarterbacks, especially with me liking the under 37. None of the props are really attractive, okay, outside of taking unders and some defense, okay? And that's kind of where we're going to go into, all right? So I want to share with you guys kind of one other prop that I do like. This is something where from a tight end perspective, without Shaheed and Olave going, I do think that Jawan Jennings is going to get a lot of load. I think he's going to get a lot of volume, more targets. Just kind of how I feel about it, okay? And if you look at kind of this narrative where they're down receivers, you can kind of take a receiver out of the game, right? So when this does happen, I do think that the number one receiver that will be in the works within that Saints with the Saints skill positions, I just think that Kamara is actually going to be their number one receiver. Well, you can't really put a spy on Kamara. You can, but that's something where it's going to leave you open. And where you're going to be open is Juwan Johnson. That is going to be where we're going to look to attack and taking that tight end. And we are going to play him to get over 3 receptions in this spot. That's probably my favorite bet of the day. I would love him with Derek Carr for a touchdown. However, I just don't think that we are going to see a lot of touchdowns in this game. So for me, it's going to be Juwan Johnson. I do like the receptions more than the yards just because of the fact that I think it's going to be more of a short throws, comfortable throws for a rookie. That's why I lend towards this. That is going to be my best prop to go alongside of the under 37.5. Those will be my plays that I give out here on the channel. Okay. Also, we do get, like I talked about a little bit, we do get the running back for New Orleans, and I'm going to kind of let you guys know what I'm talking about, because this is a very big storyline. Because when you look at New Orleans and their depth chart, hey, this is going to be Kendre Miller's first game back. So we know Jamal Williams, and he's had a little ball control issues. So if you do like a little sneaky play, Kendre Miller, in terms of going over his rushing yards, how much of a workload he gets, that's kind of why I'm not betting it. But the market really hasn't had time to process the impact he's going to have. But for any of you that plays fantasy, you do know that he was a stash for many within their drafts, and myself included. So I do love some Kendry Miller. I'm going to see how he performs in week 1, okay? And that's kind of where I'm at. So in terms of receivers, though, guys, I mean, it's literally Cedric Wilson Jr. and Bub Means. Those will be the 2 wideouts that we have going. And if we do get Taysom Hill also having some doubtful status added to his name, I do think this is one where it's going to be just a Kamara game, and I think it's going to be easier to take him out of the equation. That's why I'm not going to be betting any Kamara props. Like I talked about, if you do want to get into some of the receptions, the reception game, we'll pull up kind of what he's been doing. This is going to be a completely different look, though, with checkdowns, because the game script isn't really going to dictate that they're necessarily playing from behind. They could be if you do like Denver being that favorite. Okay, but if we look into his game logs, you can see what I'm talking about. This is where we see Kamara having 8 targets, 9 targets. Those were both in 4 consecutive losses that the Saints have had. These are comeback game scripts, and huge comeback game scripts, mind you. Okay, so I just really don't look for it to be that far out of, competitive game where we do see a lot of that game script dictate Kamara catching the ball late out of the backfield. So I'm kind of off that. We'll look into some of the insights. Okay, the under has hit in 9 of the last 13 games where Denver has been an underdog. The Saints are 4-2 in their last 6 games at home. That's a pretty big one there when you look at the Saints plus 130. I know a lot of sharp people that do like the Saints in this spot. However, I'm just not going to play it one side or another. Also, the Saints are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games against top 10 defenses. So trusting the Denver defense, trusting the Saints defense, we're going to play the under, as well as Juwan Johnson to get 3 receptions. I will kind of show you guys what we do with an outlier as well. It's kind of cool here if we do click player props and we go to most receiving yards. I'm not going to do it that way, but we'll go into receiving, sort it by that category, and we go into receiving yards, but I want to find receptions here. And this is where we're going to take receptions. You can find this over 2.5. I love this. I love this, love this. Even though it's hit at 50% of a hit rate for the last 10 games. If we look at this a little deeper, it's hit in the last 2 games where he did have 5 and 3 receptions respectively. I'm going to lay the juice here. I'm going to play that to win 1 unit, and I do think this is where he gets an exceptional amount of targets within their receivers being inactive, possibly too if they do spy over top of Kamara. Load the box, take him out of the equation. Short checkdowns to the tight end is going to be firmly in the card. So give me Juwan Johnson over 2.5 receptions, and like we say right now, guys, the best number available. You can find right now, if we pull up that number, I believe was exactly minus 146. So that's the number we're getting there pretty much across the board. FanDuel has the best number at minus 146, and there you go. So that's going to be it. And the other thing is within the likes of the backfield there, I want to tell you guys kind of what we have going on within Denver. Okay, this is where Audric Estime, okay, is 100% coming into this game Thursday night. So if we do get a goal line opportunity, look for Audric Estime to really shine through. This is where I see a little bit of value here. We're going to go into Outlier and find the touchdown scorer markets, okay? And this is where you can find Audric Estime if he's on the board, which he is, and we are going to take the over 0.5 touchdowns. This is my best value play of the night. Audric Estime plus 600 for anytime touchdown scorer. There's really no data behind this, but I do think this is a vulture opportunity with a nice goal line back, and he is going to get some playing time as you look into the comments made by Sean Payton a little bit earlier in the week. So that's where I'm at. Those are my best bets for tonight's contest. I'll show you guys here on the final board what I'll be on. If you guys like this channel, you like what I'm putting out, you want to know more about sports betting, those are all good things. Make sure you guys all like, comment, and subscribe down below. Good luck with your picks, and I will show you guys what's going on at Progressive Field a little bit later in the game, in the day, when we are at the Yankees and Guardians game live around 5 o'clock. So appreciate you guys. Good luck with your picks. We'll see you guys all tomorrow.